You're a business owner. Can you imagine your client saying to you, I'm only going to give you $10 for every transaction. And I don't care what your expenses are. That's all you get are the $10, and you're going to have to make that work. After over 20 years in the title industry, I've come to the realization that every several years or so, we're going to start seeing articles like this. People will start to claim that owner's title insurance isn't worth it, that title insurance isn't worth it, or worse, that real estate closing attorneys are charging hidden fees to consumers. I could not disagree with that more, but especially here in Massachusetts, we are what is called an attorney state, reason being that our land records are so complicated, you need to have a very highly specialized background to figure out the land title system here. Let's start with these alleged hidden fees. You're a business owner. Can you imagine your client saying to you, I'm only going to give you $10 for every transaction. And I don't care what your expenses are. That's all you get are the $10, and you're going to have to make that work. That is essentially what happened to the real estate closing attorneys back in 2015 when TRID was implemented. Before that, we used a HUD settlement statement like this, and an attorney could accurately disclose every fee that they spent per file. So the federal government essentially says to the entire lending industry, look, it's your fault that we had a complete meltdown of the real estate market in 2008 because borrowers didn't understand what they were signing. So we're going to make sure this never happens again, and we're going to make you issue this loan estimate form to borrowers when they apply for a mortgage, and we don't want those numbers to change very much from when the consumer is applying for a mortgage through when they close. So in many states, this model works really well because these states are regulated by the insurance commissioner, and they set the fees and standardize the fees for every single real estate closing. But in Massachusetts, like I said, we're an attorney state. Our land records are complicated, and every transaction is not cookie cutter. Every transaction is not the same, and you do not have the same out-of-pocket expenses. So several years ago, the lending industry starts asking our real estate closing attorneys for numbers like this. They want to know in advance magic numbers that will work for every single closing transaction. The problem for the closing attorneys in the title industry is that these are not standardized fees, especially in Massachusetts. Little things come up all of the time. So while your closing attorneys wanted to pass off exactly what they were spending per file, they couldn't because it didn't work in this magic box that the federal government created. Your closing attorneys have always wanted to pass on their accurate out-of-pocket expenses. They just weren't allowed to because that didn't fit in this magic number. The other thing that's happened to the title industry is once TRID was implemented, slowly but surely, the lending industry started beating us down on other fees. For example, the purchase and sale review that was standard, several $100s. Lawyers would standardly charge several $100s to review a purchase and sale. They would charge a closing fee. They would get their title insurance premium, which they deserve. In my opinion, the absolute greatest danger right now to the title insurance industry is the lending industry. If they keep beating us down and squeezing us for our fees, who's going to be left to do your loans? How are you going to get quality legal representation? Not only do these real estate closing attorneys deserve every single penny they're making in 2023, I recently found this fee schedule from 1946. And wouldn't you believe that today, a closing attorney in Massachusetts, outside of title insurance, is almost making the same on a residential transaction as they would have been in 1946. So the next time you think that your closing attorney or your title agent is charging too much or they don't deserve their fees, just remember, in a scenario where there's a $500,000 purchase price in Massachusetts, the realtor makes, let's say 3%, $15,000. The lender, 1%, would make $5,000. Guess how much the attorney makes? Approximately 15, 22, another $100, give or take. Come on. So the next time you want to push back on your closing attorney's fees, remember, they deserve every single penny and so much more. I'm Jackie Medeiros, holding it down for a team title.